Hey guys, welcome. This is like so hard. Why am I struggling so much with this?
It's good that you're doing the intro though, that's good.
All right, so obviously the hours of night shift are generally, well, not obviously then if it's generally, I just spit.
Nice.
What is wrong with my hair? Okay, oh my gosh. I need food if I'm awake for more than like 3 hours, so night shift life.
You did it.
I hope I got all my points. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nowell. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am a full-time NICU nurse. If you guys don't know, I work night shift. I do a lot of days in my life as a nurse videos, so you guys should check that out. I have a playlist. It's always linked in the description below. And today's video, as you guys can tell by the title, is what it's like to be a night shift nurse. So night shift is a lot different than day shift. It's not for everyone. Originally, I thought it was not for me, but with my new job, there was no other option. Night shift was the only shift available, and often that is the case. So I'm here to give you kind of the details, the ins and outs of night shift nursing, what a night shift might look like, and just the overall, you know, just set the scene for you, because obviously you can't really go into a hospital unless you're sick or visiting someone. So I'm here to give you the inside scoop to night shift nursing. So let's begin with my first bullet point. So to start off, there are a lot less people on night shift. Obviously, normal people sleep during the night, so it makes sense that there aren't as many people roaming around the halls. So to start off, there's less doctors. You know, day shift, there can be a slew of med students, attendings, residents, whoever, multiple attendings if you have a big unit, whoever. So there's less doctors, and then there's less parents. Obviously, parents, they have schedules of their own, they work. So oftentimes they come during the day. Sometimes they'll come during night, but just for the first care time. Talking NICU, we have care times. And there's less other people. I don't really know what to call them. They're all part of the team, obviously, nursing, doctors, everyone part of the interdisciplinary team. I had to slow it down because that word is very hard to say. So there's like OT, PT, speech, dietary, pharmacy. I know there's a pharmacy person on day shift, not on night shift. So there's just a lot more people on day shift, not that many people on night shift, which makes for a much quieter, chill environment. Also, the manager is usually not there, so also less, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, less people. So that's the first thing you should know about night shift. Second thing, as I just mentioned, it is chill, way more chill. Nurses can kind of do whatever. Nurses can kind of get away with a lot more, I would say, on night shift. Not that you should be doing anything you shouldn't, but I know a lot of night shift nurses bring like homework, a book to read. You can kind of be on your phone a little more because there aren't as many parents or doctors around. So that's kind of what I mean by get away with some stuff. There's just not as many people walking around. So if you're doing something not nurse related or not patient care related, it's not as like wag your finger, like get off, like it looks bad. Also with night shift in the environment for babies, and obviously I guess adults too, the lights are generally off except at your nursing station where the computer is. So it's also just, again, setting the scene, a lot quieter, chill. So if that's your vibe, maybe night shift is for you, but wait till the end to decide because there's a lot more coming. The hours of night shift are generally 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now, give or take a few minutes, because depending on the hospital, you might have a different clocking out and in time, and how many hours, I mean, how many minutes before, how many minutes after you can clock in, whatever. But generally 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Evening shift is different than night shift. That's generally sometimes like 11 to 11 or 3 to 11, but it's usually not 7 to 7 a.m. So night shift, the hours from 3 to 5 are, I would say, the hardest hours, especially if you don't have anything to do. If you're busy, you know, you have a care time during that time, you're giving meds, you're up and doing stuff, then no problem, you get through the shift. But if you, I'm sorry, my hair. But if you are done charting, done with patient care, you're kind of just chilling, then those hours are the hardest to stay awake. You know that whole nodding thing where you're like, yeah, that happens a lot. So I would just prepare yourself for that, 3 to 5, maybe go get your coffee, your energy drink, which brings me to my next point. You most likely will become a caffeine drinker. Whether that's coffee, espresso, soda, energy drink. I don't even know any of the energy drinks out there besides like Bang and Monster. Whatever your choice of caffeine, you most likely will have caffeine. Whether that's at work, before work to get yourself hyped for work, during work to stay awake, after work to stay awake for your drive, which is me, or on your days off when you're just extremely tired because your body's used to being awake all night and not during the day. You need that little pick-me-up, also me. You will become a coffee drinker, caffeine drinker, whatever it is, whatever your choice is, your drug of choice, because caffeine is a drug. Just get used to it, embrace it, you know, make it fun, find your favorite coffee shop, make it at home, buy a $500 espresso machine, whatever you want, it's gonna happen. So just embrace it. Kind of on the coffee thing, eating, I know a lot of night shift nurses. We have a nurse at my place where I work. She brings snacks all the time, chips. It is hard not to kind of eat junk food, I guess, because you're like, oh, I'm working so hard at night, you know, like, let me just have this treat. Or, you know, I'm kind of getting tired. This sugar will just give me that little energy that I need. So I haven't really come across this problem of like gaining weight just because I'm a night shift nurse, but I feel like that is a thing out there, that it's like, oh, if you work night shift, you're more likely to gain weight just because of the hours, things that I already mentioned. But I feel like if you just have your water bottle, you just eat when you're hungry, when you're bored, you go chat, you read a book, you are on your phone watching videos, I don't know, entertain yourself some other way, then I think you should be fine. Next bullet point, you learn to sleep whenever and get used to naps. So Justin can probably attest to this, but I literally can just like lights turned off, maybe an eye mask, comfy couch, comfy bed, pillows, blankets, cuddled up, and I'm out probably in 30 minutes. Like, I have become such a nap person that it's kind of ridiculous. I'm able to like sleep a full night's sleep and then take a 2 or 3 hour nap during the day. On my first day of work, I know a lot of people don't usually like sleep that long because they're just getting used to night shift. I am able to sleep a full night's sleep, take a 2 hour nap before work, and then go to work. You kind of just, you're like constantly tired. Your body is just used to being up at night. 7 p.m. becomes your 2 p.m. and you're like, I want to go do something, and everything's closing down. And at 1 a.m. you're like, I am so hyped, I'm ready for the day, and everyone's sleeping, all the stores are closed, grocery stores are closed, you can't really go and do anything. So kind of learn to deal with it, and you learn to love naps. Naps are your best friend. So my next point, these bullet points are kind of all over the place, but my next point is bring a jacket with you. Even though, you know, it's summertime right now, I always pack a jacket, because when you get cold, when you get tired, you get cold. And I'm someone who gets super cold, like literally sometimes if I don't have my jacket during report in the morning, I'm like shaking and I'm like giving a report because I'm very tired, and also the rooms are cold, which make for Nowell to be very, very cold. So I would bring a jacket, just pack it in your bag, purse, whatever you take to work, and you should be set. Or you could steal from the blanket warmer. In the NICU, there's a blanket warmer. I don't know about other units in the hospital, but other units in the hospital actually have normal sized blankets. So oftentimes you see nurses kind of wrapping that around themselves because you're so tired and cold. The next point, which is very random, is you've never wanted day shift to come any faster. This is probably both day shift and night shift, but let me tell you, when you don't have anything to do for the last hour of your shift, that goes by so slowly. So for NICU nursing, I've talked about this before, we have clustered care. So we feed the babies and do all their cares pretty much every 3 hours. So your last care is at 6 o'clock or even 5 o'clock, and then you have nothing to do until 7. Boy, let me tell you, you are watching the clock. You're like, all right, 5 minutes has gone by and we're still nowhere near close to 7. So again, I guess just find a buddy, find someone you can talk to, or do some arts and crafts for your floor, your bulletin board. I don't know, play with your baby if their baby is awake and they're old enough to play with. Just entertain yourself, because otherwise time is going by like, okay, my hand's not gonna twist like that, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so my last point on night shift, not my last point actually, but one thing on night shift is that you do a lot more, I guess you could say, tedious work, meaning that you most likely do weights, baths, lab work. Sometimes you have to bring them to MRI depending on where you work. I've done both, night shift or day shift is MRI, but like chest x-rays come, ultrasounds come, some specialists come at like 6 in the morning sometimes. So you have to deal with a lot of that stuff. I guess, like I said, tedious. You will have a love-hate relationship with labs, as I do. So you love them when, you know, the baby cooperates, isn't kicking their blood everywhere, they're bleeding really well, you don't have to squeeze their foot very hard, and you send them off, they come back, no call from lab, you're good to go. Now, the hate comes from when you put 2 warmers on the baby's heel, wrap it up in a diaper, and then they bleed like 1 drop. You have 1 good drop and then, you know, they stop bleeding. Why? I don't know. They hate you. Maybe they hate you. I don't know. But any NICU nurses watching this, you know what I mean. Please tell me you feel me. Unless I just suck at labs. I don't know. But yeah, love-hate relationship with labs. You know, when they come back clotted, that is like one of the worst calls to get, because you do labs later in your shift, so usually around your last care time, and then you send them off. You know the CVC is clotted, but you're gonna send it anyway because it took you like 10 minutes to get it, so you send it off, and then you get that call from lab and it's like 6:45 and you're like, really? I have like 10 minutes to get this lab, so you gotta slap on another heel warmer, you prick them again, you get the lab, and you're like, you know what, this probably clotted too, but I have to send it anyway to make it look like for day shift that I really tried, and so they don't have to do it and they don't get mad at me. So yeah, if you're a nurse, please tell me you've been there, not just me. Also weights, I mean, weighing is fine. Baths, NICU nurses, we give baths at night, which can be fine if the parents aren't there. If the parents are there, it depends. They can either be very helpful and just do it for you and you don't even have to lift a finger, or it's their first baby, first bath, and they're like, it's actually kind of, it's cute, but it's also funny. Parents who've never given a baby a bath before, this is the baby. They're like this is them scrubbing their baby. And I'm like, you know, you can really scrub them, you know, scrub them good so they're clean. And they're like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, nope, you know, you can really scrub them so you get some bubbles with that soap. And they're like, okay. So sometimes baths take 30 minutes and you have to explain to parents that you don't want your baby naked and cold for 30 minutes. So that's kind of challenging, trying to let them be a part of their baby's care, let them do their first bath, but also you're trying to get things done. You have other babies to take care of. You don't want your baby to get cold or their baby to get cold. So bath time can be a lot sometimes, and when you have 3 babies, all their parents want to do a bath at the same time because they all just come for the first care time, because then they go home and go to sleep. It's a lot. The last point that I want to make, guys, I'm proud of myself. I think I'm gonna get through this video. The last point I want to make is that NICU, oh my gosh. The last point I want to make is that night shift nurses do get paid more. Depending where you work, the differential is going to be different, but you do get a differential no matter what. Well, actually, I don't know, but the 2 hospitals I've worked at, you definitely get a differential. It's usually a good chunk of money, and it's per hour, because your rate, the money you get paid is per hour. You don't get like a yearly salary when you're a nurse. So it's a lot of money. It adds up. You also get a differential for the weekend, but you get your night differential plus the weekend differential. Versus day shift, you just get your weekend. And you don't have that extra money from obviously being a night shift nurse. So that is a perk. I know a lot of people stay on night shift because of the money. They don't necessarily like it, but they need the money to survive, so they stay on it. I would definitely say, so I'm a full-time night shift nurse right now. I used to be rotating between days and nights. If I had to choose, I don't know, there's pros and cons to both, but night shift nursing, what was I don't even know what I was gonna say. Oh, I remembered. So I did used to work both, but I would say having a set schedule, whether that's day shift or night shift, is a lot better than rotating. So if you don't have a choice, well, if your only choice is either rotating or night shift, I would definitely pick night shift, because it's really not good for your body to be switching from days to nights to begin with. And then I feel like it's also just more mentally tiring, because day shift you do a lot different things than night shift. So kind of having to keep track of like, oh, tonight on night shift I have to do a bath, but tomorrow on day shift I have to do like go to x-ray, MRI, where is that? Like there's just so many different things you do nursing wise, and then on top of your just body and like internal changes, like I would just stick to one or the other. So I'm gonna let you guys decide whether you think you would be a better night shift nurse or day shift nurse. It's really up to you, really how you function. But I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight of what a night shift nurse does, how the hospital kind of works, and just, yeah, the overall struggles of trying to stay awake all night and saving someone's life while you do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.